Please join me in this invocation of awakening. I am awakened. I have now awakened to the magic of my life, this present moment, and the divine connection I have to all of existence. I live, move, and have my being within a living field of unified consciousness. My heart is aflame with love, joy, and compassion, and my hands reach out to touch and care for all life. I affirm that all the people of the world are created equal, and divinity is the true nature of our being. I accept responsibility for my life and use the power of my thoughts wisely to consciously and lovingly create creation. I have a purpose in life. I believe in miracles, and I strive to release the awesome power and potential that is within me. I accept abundance, joy, health, and peace as my natural and complete state of being. I am a unique expression of the one true source of all, and I allow others to enjoy the unique experience that they are creating for themselves. I am certain that heaven is truly here on earth. Life is beautiful, perfect, and exactly as it should be. I am awakened, and so it is. Om. In sacred geometry, there are 5 forms known as Platonic solids, each of which holds unique characteristics. One of these forms is the octahedron, a diamond with 8 faces. You can imagine an octahedron as one 4-sided pyramid pointing upward, and with a second 4-sided pyramid connected at the base pointing downward. Besides being a strong vessel to contain your energy and personal power, this geometric field is also an antenna. The octahedron tool attracts and receives frequencies of thought. It also transmits your thoughts, intentions, and desires in a clearer, more direct way. If you can manage your antenna, you can influence what your antenna transmits and receives. The following exercise will employ the rose tool discussed in a previous light alchemy video offering and information dissemination from the Umbanda New Earth Ashram for compassion, strength, and octahedron establishment. However, using a simple dot as a marker will work just as well. Take a moment and find your space. Check your grounding cord and be sure you are in the center of your head or higher mind. Create your rose tool in front of you, at the edge of your energy field if you need to hold your arm, physical or imaginary, out in front of you and pretend you are holding a rose between your fingertips. Be aware of the noisy 3rd dimension on the other side of your rose. Take a breath. Close your eyes while being aware of the rose in front of you. Create a second rose directly behind you. There is now 1 rose in front of you and 1 behind you. Feel them. See them in your awareness. Now connect the 2 roses by drawing an imaginary axis line that passes through your heart chakra, the center of your chest. Draw another axis line through your heart chakra to connect these 2 new roses. There are now 4 roses at equal distances around you. Place a rose about 18 inches above your head. Place a final rose about 6 inches below your feet. All 6 roses are now in position, creating the 6th point of the octahedron. Draw one more axis line, again passing through your heart chakra, from the rose above your head to the one below your feet. These axis lines create a gyroscope, which creates stabilization in your energy field. Still with your eyes closed, draw an imaginary line from the rose in front of you to the one on your right. See it and feel it. Draw a line joining the rose on your right to the rose behind you. Then join that rose to the one to your left. Finally, draw a line from the rose on your left to the rose in front of you. This completes a square at the level of your heart chakra. Next, draw 4 imaginary lines that connect the rose above your head to each of the 4 roses at the level of your heart chakra. You have now created a 4-sided pyramid pointing downward. Feel the change as if an umbrella surrounds you. Now draw 4 imaginary lines that connect the rose below your feet to each of the 4 roses at the level of your heart chakra. You have now created the full octahedron. Notice how you feel when you're surrounded by your octahedron. The 3 axis lines help stabilize and keep you energetically balanced as you continue to build your personal power field. Bring your attention to the 8 faces of your octahedron. Fill these 8 triangles with brilliant, translucent light. Notice how this feels. The space inside this octahedron is yours, and only yours. Everything outside this field defines the rest of the universe. This diamond of light that surrounds you is not a wall or a defense system. It is a stable containment field that allows you to move around more effectively without becoming affected by external noise and drama. As an antenna, the octahedron aligns with the greater wisdom and information being transmitted during this shift. It creates an alignment with all that you are and simply filters out that which you are not. The best way to reinforce this geometry and to own it for yourself is to trace the lines of the octahedron repeatedly throughout your day and during your meditation. Make it fun and amusing. Reinforcing your octahedron anchors it around you. If you cautiously stay within your light-filled octahedron, you will become less and less affected by other people's emotions, thoughts, and erratic behavior. Construct it around you daily, reinforcing it whenever you feel the need. It will not take long to begin noticing the difference this tool makes in your day. As you live and work within your octahedron, you will begin to align with the knowledge and the wisdom you once had. You will also begin to transmit more clearly and with greater strength your intentions, desires, and dreams for the universe to see and reflect back to you. You will begin to know yourself, dear esteemed, honored, noble, and notable viewer. As you move through this video offering course of Light Alchemy, presented by the Umbanda New Earth Ashram, we will at times talk about spinning. You'll spin the octahedron, the triads, and more. Speaking of the triangular triad, as soon as you hear the word spin, your rational mind perhaps may say, well, which way? Do I spin it forward or backward? Do I spin it to the left, to the right, or right to left? How do I spin this? Let's just keep it simple. When you give the command to the octahedron to spin, it knows what to do. This is part of you that you have simply forgotten. Your field will spin, though you won't see the actual turning. Instead, you might observe a glow or radiance. The octahedron is spinning faster than human eyes can see. So essentially, what we are doing here is activating your octahedron, your diamond light body, or as it is known as a Merkaba. And we're not talking about the watered down, negative Anunnaki version of the Merkaba. This is actually presented by the armies of heaven, the angels of light, the elders of light, and this octahedron is meant to be activated and serve as your fifth dimensional focus as you rise from the third dimension, as you insulate yourself from the noise and drama of the third dimension, and activate your personal power field. As you built your octahedron, you may have noticed that the top portion is shorter than the lower portion. This is because your personal power field is not fully activated as yet. And we will do so here momentarily, but essentially we need to bring it into a balanced geometric alignment. And the full instructions on how to do this are a complicated initiation with multiple steps, but for here and now, for this intentions, for practical intent and purposes here at the Umbanda North Ashram, I've simplified this process. So the final result will still be effective and it will be felt. This is actionable intelligence. So please find your space, check your octahedron, and be in your higher mind. Notice and reinforce the lines you drew when you created the octahedron. Now notice the line of light that runs from the point of your octahedron above you through the center of your body to the point of the octahedron directly below you. Breathing slowly, deliberately, widen the line of light to about 4 inches. You now have a column of light connecting and moving through your energy field. Be the word certain and give the command to the column to begin to move the light within it up from your third chakra out through the point at the top of the octahedron, and then let the light flow down around the outside of the geometry to form a sphere around it. Next, give the command to the column to begin to move the light within it down from your third chakra out through the point at the bottom of the octahedron, and then let it flow up and around the outside of the geometry to form another sphere around it. You now have 2 spheres of light surrounding your octahedron. You might notice that they touch all 6 points of the geometry. To bring the octahedron into a balanced form, you must now activate it from that place of certainty and presence in your higher mind. Give the command for both spheres to begin to spin. They will naturally know how to spin, but generally the top portion spins clockwise, the bottom spins counterclockwise, but this is something you don't need to fret over. Just visualize it spinning. The light will continue to move up and out the top of the column and down and out the bottom of the column simultaneously. Your only job is to watch as this occurs, not control or force it. As the octahedron begins to glow and radiate light, give it the command to double in speed. It will. Notice the increase in radiance. You may physically feel a sensation, though many people do not. You may notice that the energy spirals around your personal power field and then accelerates even more as it moves through the column. As it does this, it will reach a point where it will stabilize at a very high speed and then settle into a nice, comfortable sensation. Another thing you may notice as you increase the spin of this energy is that the shape of your octahedron has become more balanced and aligned. The spin of the field of light will become perfectly spherical, and the octahedron will expand outward so that all 6 points are an equal distance from each other, all touching the edge of the sphere. There is no need to analyze this, just experience and enjoy it. The higher, wiser aspect of you knows exactly what it is doing. The reality is this has been yours forever. So now, without opening your eyes, become aware of the octahedron and the spheres you have created. Notice how it feels. From inside, be aware of this flow of light spinning around the octahedron and accelerating back up through the column within you. At this point, you may be feeling less pressure, cooler, more stabilized, and more comfortable. Congratulations, you have successfully built a new energy field from which to create your life. This is where things begin to get really interesting here in the fifth dimension. The more you play with this tool, the more you will develop a new awareness of yourself and of the fact that there is something different about you now moving around, moving throughout your day-to-day existence. Your personal power field will grow into a self-contained, self-generated spherical field of light that completely surrounds the octahedron and you. So please, stay tuned for further information disseminations and light alchemy studies from the Umbanda New Earth Astral.
Namaste. Namaskaram.